Good evening and welcome to Primetime News on TV1. I'm Thiruni Karunaratna. First up is a look at tonight's top stories.
Newsfirst headlines. Main sponsor.
A trusted place for your fixed deposit. Valuable FD, a symbol of stability.
President receives warm welcome at the Colombo International Book Fair. Prime Minister calls on chief prelates of Malvatu and Askiri chapters. New ministerial subjects and functions gazetted. A minister to overlook over 100 institutions. Is there a potential new alliance for the general election? UNP members express varying opinions. Ranil should remain UNP leader, a proposal from the Gaul electorate. CV Vigneswaran urges senior politicians to step aside for the youth. Former Minister Kumara Belgamer passes away. Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah dies after Israeli strikes on Beirut.
Newsfirst headlines. Main sponsor.
A trusted place for your fixed deposit. Valuable FD, a symbol of stability.
Stories in detail now. President Anura Kumara Dissanayake visited the Colombo International Book Fair today. The Colombo International Book Fair 2024, coinciding with the Literary Month, marks the 25th edition of the fair. It is being held at the Bandaranayake International Conference Hall in Colombo. This morning, President Anura Kumara Dissanayake visited the fair. The President was welcomed by President of the Sri Lanka Book Publishers Association, Samantha Indivara, who presented an overview of the national policy on children's literature. The President toured several booths showcasing both local and international publications, engaging in cordial conversations with visitors. Organised annually by the Sri Lanka Publishers Association, this book fair began yesterday and is set to continue until the 6th of October. New ministerial subjects and functions have been gazetted. The Extraordinary Gazette was issued by President Anura Kumara Dissanayake. According to the Extraordinary Gazette, the Ministry of Defence oversees 26 institutions, including the Defence Staff, the Tri-Forces and the State Intelligence Service. The Disaster Management Centre and the Department of Meteorology have also been gazetted under the Ministry of Defence. The Ministry of Finance, Economic Stabilisation and National Policies and Tourism oversees 62 institutions. The Sri Lanka Board of Investment and the Department of National Botanic Gardens have also been included under this ministry. The Ministry of Power and Energy has 11 institutions under its purview, while the Ministries of Agriculture, Land, Livestock, Irrigation, Fisheries and Aquatic Resources oversees 35 institutions. The Ministry of Justice, Constitutional Reforms, National Integration, Provincial Councils and Local Government and Labour has 38 institutions. The Ministry of Education, Science and Technology has 45 institutions, which include Sri Lanka Telecom, the Information and Communication Technology Agency and the National Data Protection Authority. 15 institutions have been gazetted under the Ministry of Women, Child Affairs, Youth Affairs and Sports. Additionally, 41 institutions have been gazetted under the Ministry of Trade, Commerce, Food Safety, Cooperative Development, Industry and Entrepreneurship Development. The Ministry of Health has 26 gazetted institutions. 53 institutions have been gazetted under the Ministry of Buddhasasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs, National Integration, Social Security and Mass Media, including the Samurdhi Development Department. 17 institutions have been gazetted under the Ministry of Transport, Highways, Ports, Shipping and Aviation, which which includes Sri Lankan Airlines. 6 institutions, including the Sri Lanka Police, have been gazetted under the Ministry of Public Security. Only 3 institutions have been gazetted under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. 48 institutions have been gazetted under the Ministry of Environment, Wildlife, Forest Resources, Water Supply, Plantations and Community Infrastructure. Additionally, 15 institutions have been gazetted under the Ministry of Rural and Urban Development, Housing and Construction. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya obtained blessings today at the temple of the Sacred Tooth relic in Kandy. Upon Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya's arrival at the temple of the Sacred Tooth relic in Kandy, she was warmly welcomed by Pradeep Nilanga Dala, the official representative. The Prime Minister also visited the Malwathu Mahaviharaya, where she received blessings from Most Venerable Tibbatuave Sri Sumangala Theru, the Chief Prelate of the Malwathu chapter. The Prime Minister also received blessings from the Most Venerable Varakaguda Sri Jnanaratana Theru, the Chief Prelate of the Asgiri chapter.
මහමැතිවරණයටත් අපි සූදානම් වෙමින් පවතින්නේ. අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා දැන් අපිට ජනාධිපතිවරණය තුල ලබා දුන්න ජයග්‍රහණය ඒක තවත් සහතික කරලා අපිට විශිෂ්ට ජයග්‍රහණයක් ඒ වගේම මහමැතිවරණය තුල ලබා දීලා පාර්ලිමේන්තුව තුල රට හදන්න පුළුවන් කණ්ඩායමක් තෝරලා එවයි කියන විශ්වාසය අපි තුල තියෙනවා.
ඔබතුමියලගේ 3 දිනකුත් සමන්විත කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලයේ දැවැන්ත වගකීමක් තියෙනවා මේ ඉෂ්ට කරගන්න පුළුවන් විශාල කැපවීමක් කරන්න ඕනේ.
ඒ කැපවීම කරන්න සූදානමින් තමයි අපි මේක බාරගත්තේ. ඒක අපි කරනවා.
යම් යම් චෝදනා එල්ල වෙනවා යම් චෝදනා තියෙන යම් නිලධාරීන් නැවතත් පත් කරලා තියෙනවා රජයේ ඉහළ තනතුරු වලට කියලා.
අපේ පාලනයේ යටතේ යම් කිසි වැරදි කරොත් අපි ඒවට ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙනවා.
දැනට චෝදනා එල්ල වී ඇති නිලධාරීන් සම්බන්ධව.
ඔවුන් සම්බන්ධයෙන්ත් අපි දැනටමත් සමහර අයත් එක්ක පිළිබඳව ක්‍රියාමාර්ග අරගෙන තියෙනවා. ඉදිරියටත් අපි රාජ්‍ය සේවයත් එක්ක පිටින් ගේන්න බෑනේ නේද? මේ තියෙන එකත් එක්ක වැඩ කරන්නේ. ඒක අපි පත් කරන අයට අපි වග කියනවා. ඒකට ඒ වගකීම ගන්නවා කියන්නේ වුන් කළා තියෙන වැරදි ඔප්පු වුණොත් ඒ චෝදනා ඔප්පු වුණොත් සහ අපේ පාලනයේ යටතේ ඒවා කෙරුණොත් ඒවට ගත යුතු ක්‍රියාමාර්ග ගන්න අපි සූදානම්.
A meeting was held today at the Election Commissioner's office between the district returning officers and the officials of the Election Commission. The estimated budget for this year's general election is 11 billion rupees. During the meeting, the district returning officers were informed about the primary activities related to the upcoming general elections.
We request all postal voters to submit your postal application for the general election between 1st to 8th October. Please ensure it is approved by the head of your institution, where your residence is registered and handed over to the district returning officer. Currently, there is an estimated requirement of 11 billion rupees. We had previously requested this amount for the 2025 elections. However, we also believe that the necessary basic funding amounts has likely been signed off by the President.
Crucial discussions are ongoing about forming alliances and selecting candidates for the upcoming general election. There are debates over whether the main opposition will form an alliance. Parties that backed Ranil Wickremesinghe during the vote in Parliament are voicing contrasting views on this approach. One faction supports aligning with the Samagi Janabalawegaya, while another group that has distanced itself from the previous government strongly opposes this idea. The parties that supported former President Ranil Wickremesinghe convened today at the office on Flower Road, Colombo. Following these discussions, several members of the United National Party revealed their readiness to collaborate with the Samagi Janabalawegaya in the upcoming elections.
තාමත් සාකච්ඡා මට්ටමේ තියෙනවා. ඒක කඩන් වැටලා කියලා කිව්වේ. සාකච්ඡා මට්ටමේ තියෙනවා තාම. අරගෙන අපි බලමු. ඔබතුමාගේ යාළුවත් එක්කද එතකොට? මම දන්නේ නැහැ. මන් දන්නේ ඒක කොහොමද කියලා.
දැන් සජබෙත් එක්ක තිබුණු සාකච්ඡා කඩන් වැටුණාද ඉවරයිද ඒක?
නෑ තාම ඉවර නෑ. සජබෙත් එක්ක එකතු වුණොත් මං හිතනවා මේ වෙලාවේ විපක්ෂයේ එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ හිතවත් සියලු දෙනා එකතු කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. මොකද සජබ කියන්නේ UNP එකම තමයි. ඒක තමයි හොඳම ක්‍රමවේදය ඒක කියන එක.
දැන් අර පොහොට්ටුවෙන් ආපු අය නම් කියනවා සජබෙත් එක්ක එකතු වෙනවා නම් අපිට එතන ඉන්න බෑ කියලා.
මගේ නම් අදහස සජබෙත් සමග එකතු වෙලා පුළුල් සන්දානයකට යන්නේ නැත්නම් ඡන්දිල්ල වැඩක් නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක පරාජය වෙන්නේ. මේ ප්‍රතිඵලයේදී පොහොට්ටුවෙන් ආපු කණ්ඩායම ගේනවා කිව්ව ඡන්ද ප්‍රමාණය ගෙනාවේ නැහැ. එතකොට ඒක ගේන්න බැරුණා වොන්ට. ඒක අපි තේරුම් ගන්න ඕන.
However, party activists in the Gaul electorate today proposed that Ranil Wickremesinghe should continue to serve as the leader of the United National Party.
We are currently engaged in discussions with other parties regarding our strategy as a party. Based on the final decision, we are expected to submit our nomination papers. We are working according to that plan.
ප්‍රධාන වශයෙන් අපේ පක්ෂයෙන් කැඩී ගිය කොටස උදාහරණයකට ගත්තාම තිබුණු විරුද්ධ පක්ෂය නිදහසෙන්.
Yes, the opposition has transformed into a party that has failed after 78 years since independence. This means that a group representing 3%, that is below the main opposition party, has advanced to claim victory of the executive presidential position. Therefore, the challenge lies in how a new political culture can emerge from a group that has faltered. I have no doubt that Ranil Wickremesinghe will successfully navigate this challenge. It is crucial for the Sri Lankan people to remember that the opposition has not succeeded in overcoming this hurdle. With that context, we are taking necessary steps to establish a grand coalition.
ජනතාව මතක තබා ගත යුතුයි. ඒ සාධකයේ දිහා බලමින් අපි මහා සන්දානයක් ඇති කිරීම සඳහා අවශ්‍ය පියවර ගනිමින් සිටිනවා.
එතකොට ලක්ෂ 2.5-3ක්
Ranil Wickremesinghe received 200,000 votes has shown that the public recognizes he made significant contributions to this country by getting 2.2 million votes. These people have made it clear that he is a leader capable of effecting change and possesses a vision for our future.
කියන එක ලක්ෂ 22ක් ජනතාව තීන්දුව කළා තියෙනවා.
අගමැති අපේක්ෂකතුමා සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස වෙලා ගමනක් යන්න ඕන කියලා ඇතැම් අය දැන් තමත් යෝජනා ඉදිරිපත් කළා.
එහෙම අයට ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න පුළුවන් යෝජනා. හැබැයි සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස
Those people are certainly free to propose their ideas. However, we do not accept Sajith Premadasa, a leader who has not taken responsibility during this nation's crisis to guide us through economic recovery or provide the robust leadership necessary to strengthen our economy. We have invited all opposition parties to unite, following the guidance of President Ranil Wickremesinghe, to collectively support the democratic governance in our country and protect the democratic process. However, if Sajith Premadasa continues to think in an outdated manner, focus solely on his position rather than embracing a broader political vision, it will be a regrettable situation.
දැක්මක් එතුමාට නැත්තම් ඒක තමයි කනගාටුදායක තත්ත්වය.
Former parliamentarian and General Secretary of the Tamil Makkal Kootani, C.V. Vigneswaran, said that he will not be contesting in the upcoming general election in order to create opportunities for the younger generation. Former parliamentarian and General Secretary of the Tamil Makkal Kootani, C.V. Vigneswaran, shared that he is currently engaged in politics with a group of experienced youth and emphasized that both he and the other seasoned political figures should provide opportunities for young individuals to compete. C.V. Vigneswaran highlighted the importance of empowering capable young members within the party, adding that experienced politicians should guide them along the right path. He added that by stepping aside in the next general election, he aims to support and nurture the potential of the youth.
Welcome to Fox Candy. Your haven for unforgettable experiences.
දිවිය සරු කරන්න ගන්නා වෙහෙස නැත ගොඩයාමක් තිබෙන දුෂ්කරතා හමුවේ එනමුදු දහසක් ලෙඩරෝග බොන්නට පිරිසිදු වතුර නැතුව නිකවරටිය කොටවෙහෙර 257 දිගන්නාව ජනතාවගේ හිත සුව පිණිස පිරිසිදු ජල පෙරණ පද්ධතියකට මුල්ගල තැබූ වගයි.
Welcome back. You're watching Primetime News. Owners of large-scale rice mills have decided to release rice to the market at the government-controlled price.
නව ජනාධිපතිතුමා මේ රට තුළ මේ කරගෙන යන කාර්යයට ශක්තියක් සහයෝගයක් වෙන්න.
In order to support the newly elected president, we have decided to sell all types of rice at the government-controlled price. Although I do not represent it now, I spoke with Sripada Gamlath, our skilled business leader, and with Mitra Paladipati yesterday and today. Both expressed their agreement. I have also informed Ranjit of Mardagahamulla and the chairman of the All Island Rice Mill Owners Association about this decision. At this time, we are not focused on calculating profits. Everyone in this country must make a sacrifice. Despite any losses that may arise from the paddy that we have purchased, starting today, we will release rice to our fellow traders at the government price. I urge the entire trading community to begin selling our rice at this price from today onwards.
ප්‍රජාවගේම මම ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා අද දින සිට රජයේ සාතික මිලට විකුණන්න පුළුවන් විදියට අපේ හාල් ටික අපි නිකුත් කරන්න.
The Inland Revenue Department said that all income tax dues for the 2023-2024 assessment year must be paid by Monday. Commissioner General of the Inland Revenue Department, Sepalika Chandrasekhara, said that people who fail to pay or delay their income tax payments will face legal penalties and interest payments. She further emphasized that any outstanding tax dues for any type of tax must be settled on or before the 30th of September. She warned that if any taxes remain unpaid after Monday, the Inland Revenue Department will initiate legal actions as outlined in the Inland Revenue Act to collect those dues. For more details, individuals can reach out to 1944 or contact the nearest Inland Revenue office in the region. The Bar Council has appointed President's Counsel Anura Maddeguda as the new president of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka. The appointment was made at a meeting held today. President's Counsel Anura Maddeguda previously served as the Deputy President of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka. President's Counsel Razik Zaruk was appointed as the Deputy President. These appointments come in response to the recent resignations of the former President and Deputy President. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya, who also serves as the country's Education Minister, outlined her plans to improve the education system in Sri Lanka.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya expressed these views at a workshop for principals of national schools in Sri Lanka.
Education is a key area and an area to which we will give the highest priority. Main problems that we see in the education system is that the trust in the education system has broken. It's as in many other areas of our society, people no longer trust that these systems will work for them. Children no longer believe in the importance of education, nor do they feel as committed to the education system as perhaps a generation ago. So we need to change this. We need to establish the trust in the system again. We need to make sure that children feel excited about their education, that parents are able to hand over their children to the education system and have the faith that the education system will deliver. For all these reasons, we think establishing that trust in the education system is critical. We also know that there are huge disparities, inequalities in the education system. In our thinking, there shouldn't be a division within the school system where some children go to good schools, popular schools as they are generally known, and then there can't be another category that is known as the unpopular schools. I mean, that's not an acceptable situation. So our intention is to make sure that all schools deliver the best for all children. Sadly, in the last several decades, we have not fulfilled that promise of our education system. We need to recover it, and we need to improve on what we have.
A 7-member independent specialist committee has been appointed to probe into the recent leak of the Grade 5 scholarship examination paper. Secretary to the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, Tilaka Jayasundara, said that the committee was appointed as per the instructions of Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya. The committee includes several internationally experienced specialists. The committee is set to investigate the leak within 2 days and submit recommendations to the Prime Minister, ensuring that steps can be taken to avoid any unfairness towards the students. Former Minister Kumara Velgama passed away this morning. His remains are currently at a private funeral home in Nagoda, Kaluthara, and will be taken to his residence in Horavala, Matugama tomorrow morning. Former Minister Kumara Velgama, who had been unwell for some time, succumbed to his illness while receiving treatment at a private hospital in Colombo. He was 74 years at the time of his passing. Born on the 5th of April 1950, he came from a distinguished business family and was a former student of St. Thomas's College, Mount Lavinia. His political career began with the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, and he was elected to Parliament in 1994 as a representative of the Podujana Eksat Peramuna. Throughout his career, he held various ministerial positions, including in transportation and industry. In 2021, he took on a leadership role in the new Lanka Freedom Party, which he was instrumental in establishing. In the recent general elections, he was elected to Parliament as a member of the Samagi Janbalabega, representing the Kaluthara district. Kumara Velgama was widely respected for his strong connection with the community and was well known for his dedication to public service, earning trust and affection of those he served. Delegates at the United Nations General Assembly left the hall ahead of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's speech yesterday. Shortly after Netanyahu wrapped up his speech, the Israeli military said it carried out a strike on Hezbollah's headquarters in Beirut. Hezbollah has confirmed the death of its leader Hassan Nasrallah after the Israeli strikes on Beirut.
Ladies and gentlemen, order.
When Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu entered the hall and was introduced, boos and raised voices echoed, and many delegates walked out through various exits.
Order, please. Ladies and gentlemen, order. Order, please.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu signaled to the world from the United Nations that multiple conflicts in the Middle East were far from resolved, and he vowed to continue battling the Lebanese Hezbollah and defeat Hamas in the Gaza Strip until, quote-unquote, total victory.
I didn't intend to come here this year. My country is at war, fighting for its life. But after I heard the lies and slanders leveled at my country by many of the speakers at this podium, I decided to come here and set the record straight. I decided to come here to speak for my people, to speak for my country, to speak for the truth. And here's the truth. Israel seeks peace. Israel yearns for peace. Israel has made peace and will make peace again. Yet we face savage enemies who seek our annihilation, and we must defend ourselves against these savage murderers.
Shortly after the Prime Minister spoke, blasts rocked the Lebanese capital Beirut, and the Israeli military said it had struck Hezbollah's headquarters. The attack appeared to target Hezbollah's leader and prompted Netanyahu to cut short his trip to New York by a day and make unusual travel on the Jewish Sabbath to get home. The Israel Defense Forces said they killed Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah in the strikes on Beirut. A series of massive explosions sent huge clouds of smoke soar in the densely populated neighborhood in Dahiyeh, southern Beirut. Waves of attacks continued early today, pushing thousands of residents to flee the area. At least 6 people were killed and 91 others were wounded injured in the attacks, with the toll expected to rise much higher.
පින්තාරු වැඩමුළුව හා ප්‍රදර්ශනය NVQ සහතිකලාබී වෘත්තීය පින්තාරු ශිල්පියෙක් ශිල්පිනියක් වීමට ඔබත් අදම එක්වන්න. විස්තර හා ව්‍යාපදිංචි වීමට අමතන්න 0777 6040. ජැට් පින්තාරු අභිමාන දේශීය දෙව පින්තාරු කරන්නේ උන්නතිය උදෙසා. පවුල් 557ක් පමණ ජීවත් වන ගම්මානයක්. තිබහට බොන්න වතුර නෑ. තිබුණත් ඒ වතුර පිරිසිදු නෑ. කිලෝමීටර ගණනක් දුර ගෙවාගෙන යනවා පිරිසිදු ජලය සොයාගෙන. ජීවිතය දුෂ්කර වෙලා. අනුරාධපුර මධ්‍යම නුවරගම් පළාතේ පරසන් ගස්වැව ජනතාවගේ දුක නිවාලමින් ජල පෙරණියකට ගම්මැද්දින් මුල්ගල තැබූ වගයි.
Welcome back to Primetime News. US Ambassador to Sri Lanka Julie Chung underscored the necessity for Sri Lanka to adhere to its commitments under the International Monetary Fund program. She expressed these views at the 32nd Annual General Meeting of the American Chamber of Commerce in Sri Lanka yesterday. The 32nd Annual General Meeting of the American Chamber of Commerce in Sri Lanka saw the participation of AmCham members along with distinguished guests, including representatives from USAID, the Board of Investment and top executives from leading corporations in Sri Lanka. US Ambassador to Sri Lanka Julie Chung was the chief guest of the event.
As Sri Lanka seeks to attract new FDI, it's essential to ensure transparency and uphold high standards for these investors. Predictability of laws, regulations. This will ensure that these investments that come will create jobs, spur growth, and genuinely benefit all Sri Lankans. Moreover, a stable, transparent business environment will have a multiplier effect, incentivizing additional foreign investors, such as yourselves, to make significant and long-term investments. So we look forward to working with President Dissanayaka and his administration to further strengthening our bilateral ties, including promoting our economic growth and supporting the country's ongoing reform efforts. It is vital for Sri Lanka to stick to the IMF program and prioritize those, especially the good governance diagnostic within the IMF, and also reforming some of the inefficient state-owned enterprises, intensify anti-corruption efforts. These steps are fundamental for a robust and transparent and sustainable economy.
The event concluded with the re-election of Shirendra Lawrence as the president of the American Chamber of Commerce in Sri Lanka for the 2024-2025 term, alongside the new board of directors. The 21st installation ceremony of the Smedley Toastmasters Club was held in Colombo yesterday. The Executive Committee installation and the celebration of the Smedley Toastmasters Club took place in Colombo yesterday. The event was attended by members of the Smedley Toastmasters Club, corporate leaders, businessmen and leaders of the Toastmasters fraternity. The keynote speech was delivered by Vidushan Natha Vitharana.
And I want to talk about love, a little bit on responsibility, but mostly about sacrifice. Having said that, the moment you say love, you tend to notice the fact that people raise their eyebrows because love and, well, relationships go together, but love and business doesn't. And that's the problem. Because unless you're actually in love with what you do, what have you got left? For all the pain that you go through, there are little moments of delight, which if you are not in a leadership position, you will never get to know. Anyone who sees a leader sacrificing on behalf of you wins a part of your soul that can never be bought and is etched with you forever.
Shahan Gunathilaka is the incoming president of the Smedley Toastmasters Club for the years 2024-2025. Day 3 of the second test between Sri Lanka and New Zealand got underway today at the Galle International Cricket Stadium. Sri Lanka, batting first, declared their innings for a formidable total of 602 runs, having lost 5 wickets. Thanks to Sri Lanka's exceptional bowling performance, New Zealand was dismissed for a mere 88 runs in their first innings. This was New Zealand's lowest total in a test innings against Sri Lanka. Prabhat Jayasuriya delivered a standout performance, taking 6 wickets for just 42 runs. Nishan Peiris claimed 3 wickets. Following on, New Zealand began their second innings in an effort to avoid defeat after their innings collapse. They lost 2 wickets for just 97 runs. Kane Williamson top-scored with 46 runs. Daryl Mitchell fell for just 1 run. Rachin Ravindra could only muster 12 runs before being dismissed. Due to rain, the match was halted before the scheduled conclusion, with New Zealand reaching 199 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in their second innings. They still trailed Sri Lanka's first inning total by 315 runs. The much-anticipated annual water polo encounter between Royal College Colombo and St. Thomas's College Mount Lavinia kicked off today at the Sugatadasa swimming pool in Colombo.
The annual water polo encounter between Royal College Colombo and St. Thomas's College Mount Lavinia began today with the under-15 competition, with the two teams vying for the prestigious Mahinda Linage Challenge Trophy. In an exciting match, St. Thomas's College triumphed over Royal College in the first leg, securing a victory with a score of 16-12. In the under-19 category for the R.L. Heyman Memorial Trophy, Royal College scored an impressive victory, winning their first stage match against St. Thomas's with a score of 13-9. The second leg of the tournament is set to take place on the 5th of October at the Sugatadasa swimming pool.
And that brings to a close tonight's edition of Primetime News on TV1. Thank you for watching. Take care. Have a good night.